Mic check, 1, 2. Hello. 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 Today I'm making soup. I've never made soup before. It's gonna be an adventure. You know, one of those choose your own adventures. Check, 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 check. Audio, audio. Check, check, check. Testing. Hello. Yell louder. Okay. Still? Still quiet? No. I'm making beef strong enough. How about you choose your own adventure? Much better? Okay. Let's do the damn thing. As you know what FouseyTube says, what it is, what it be, what it do though. Ben and his potatoes. Today I'm making soup. I've never made soup before. I don't like soup. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? I think soup is overrated. It's not a meal. Especially tomato soup is potentially the worst soup. It is the worst of the soups. Tomato soup isn't, it should be a sauce that you put on something else to eat. And soup is just not a meal in general. Change your mind with your own soup? Maybe I will. So I kind of like root vegetables. So I've got some rainbow carrots here. I've got parsnips, got some sweet potatoes. I got a big old red onion and some garlic. Everybody likes garlic, right? Just like Raymond. So I thought I would roast those vegetables and then put them in a soup and blend it. And I bought this just for today. What do you think? Do you have one of these? I think they call it an immersion blender. All right, I do want to share the instructions that came with this because I thought this was a little wild and a little insulting. This appliance is not intended for use by persons with reduced physical, sensory, or mental capabilities or lack of experience or knowledge, unless they are closely supervised and instructed concerning use of the appliance by a person responsible for their safety. Not intended for use by persons who lack knowledge. I feel like that's one of those things where it goes through like 7 drafts of legal copy until it just means something insane, right? I took it personally. I think that's a crazy thing to say when someone buys a blender. Am I wrong? Is that not a lot? I thought it was a lot. Ben, keep your hair tied back when you use the blender. Oh, good. Oh, you're funny. All right, I gotta peel these vegetables, and that might take a minute, so I'm gonna do it. Also, how do you peel something when it, oh, this is a bad carrot. There's way too, oh, I don't, uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's way too much flop in these carrots. I'm not sure I'm gonna have to make a judgment call. Okay. You need your carrots to be like a good lover. No, but you can't use a very soft carrot, right? All right, yeah, some of these are no bueno. Okay, too soft. That's okay. That's salvage, way too soft. God, even that's too soft. Damn, I don't remember them being this soft. I swear this doesn't usually happen. I swear this has never happened before. All right, we're just gonna take the tops off those carrots. And we're just gonna do a little peel. I've pre-washed these. Probably don't need to peel the carrots, but we'll do it anyway. Camera shy, yeah. Is that a polish name? I've lost track. Hey, Simply's not here right now if you want any spoilers for tomorrow. The nail polish is small. Mini bottles. Ah, that's too soft. We're gonna be low on carrots here. No spoilers? Come on, live a little. No spoilers, please? Okay. I didn't realize how seriously people took their advent calendars. I guess growing up, the only advent calendars I ever had were just, there was no surprise because they were just like shitty chocolate. Were you out there growing up with like good advent calendars and not just bad chocolate? Like what kind of advent calendar you had that you didn't know what you were gonna get? Because for me, every day was just chocolate. And every day was a good day, but it wasn't a surprise. Never had advent calendars as a kid? Well, that's a bummer. Why'd you say anything? Good contribution. My family didn't do advent calendars. This will be my first one. Okay, so you're projecting what you think an advent calendar experience should be. I only had floppy carrots. Well, I've never had a floppy carrot before. Today's my first time. Talk to your husband about that. So wait, does no one have an example of a kind of advent calendar they had where something was a surprise? I didn't grow up with advent calendars either. Oh my God, none of you have had an advent calendar before? What is going on? Lego advent calendar? Socks advent calendar? How many pairs of socks do you need? All right, carrots are done. Or wait, no, I need to chop them. Maybe I'll chop them now just to get them out of the way. Put them in this bowl. So I'm gonna chop into like 1.5 inch chunks. These carrots are small enough, I don't really have to worry about it. I am going to turn on the oven before I forget. What do we think? 425 maybe? Does that sound reasonable? Lego advent calendar sounds pretty cool. I could get behind that. It was 12 days of Disney socks. Okay. So like Hannah Montana socks, Hilary Duff socks, Ariana Grande socks. At some point, did Disney princesses just get replaced by child actors who grow into be pop stars? How did you get these colorful carrots? Are they limited edition? They are limited edition. So limited, they went soft on me in like 2 days. I like the smell of a good parsnip. Yeah, should have used mini carrots. Woo. Oh, for anyone who cares, I am enjoying and about half done the Stephen King novel for book club 11/22/63. So I am committed to doing book club next Sunday, which I guess is the day after the anniversary. It would be 11/23. It's pretty good. No spoilers, but I'm in Texas right now, and he met a girl, and he said, I swear this has never happened before. All right, I'm gonna chop this up. I'm gonna chop this up a little bit. You're small enough, I'll just do that. Maybe we'll cut you in half. Wee ha ha. It's been a while since I finished a book. I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but I will. I find Stephen King very readable. It's almost like reading a screenplay more than reading a book. Like, I don't think he's a particularly good writer, except it's very engaging. It's easy to read. Wee ha ha. All right, sweet potato. A little sweet potato. I'll just put this here. Hot take, I think I like sweet potato fries more than regular freedom fries. Don't tell the French. What kind of soup are we making? We are making a root vegetable soup. Sweet potatoes, parsnips, rainbow carrots, red onion, and garlic. Do. It's a shame Shrimply isn't here. She is all about soup. She eats soup almost every day. Bone broth counts as soup, right? Are we following a recipe? No, we're really going on vibes here. I am wondering if I just turn Friday's stream into giving me an excuse to make food. And maybe the angle is it's something I haven't made before. Do you think I should be following a recipe or something? I mean, I'm roasting vegetables. I've done that before. You could riff off a recipe. I did look at some recipes before. I have a general sense of like needing a cup of liquid per cup of vegetables I'm blending into the soup, roughly speaking. And I'm doing most of the work in the oven. I'm really just gonna get the garlic on the stove, and then it's really just adding the vegetable broth and then blending in my roasted vegetables. So not a whole lot to this, but I shouldn't get ahead of myself here. Again, I'm not too worried about how I'm cutting these since I'm just roasting and blending. I just want them to be somewhat uniformly sized so they roast more or less evenly. While the veggies roast, take those peels and scraps and make some veggie stock. That sounds like work. wonder if I should be making these smaller just so it doesn't take as long. I've never made stock before, but when I was doing some research here, I saw a clip of a guy who just put like the bones of a chicken into a pot. And he's like, this is how you get chicken bone broth. I'm like, I could do that. I could probably do that. I'm gonna cut some of these sweet potatoes smaller. It's getting a little lazy here. Those seem all right. Okay, I think we're good. Bonsoir, monsieur. All right, here's everything but the red onion. I probably don't need all of this red onion. So we're gonna cut it wastefully, remove the guts. What's your favorite Advent polish? It's a surprise. Cut. I'll leave this in chunks. There we go. Surprise! Chunk, chunk, chunk. Don't like that outside piece. Never seen a red onion that big before? I can't find red onions that are small anymore. That's my problem. All right, how am I gonna do this? I should have used a bigger bowl. I'm gonna add a generous amount of olive oil there. Pan 2. Oven's 425. I need salt. Sel marin, and some rainbow pepper, sure, why not? And I need a spoon. My spoon is not too big. Kind of hate when you get oil on your hands. Is that a me thing? No. Okay, you're going on the pan. You're going on the pan. You should add some thyme and rosemary. I should. I will. But I'm not gonna put that in the oven right away. I feel like that's too much. I was considering just adding it to the soup instead of to the veggies. But that's a good question. When would be the best time to introduce those herbs into the mix? Okay, I'm gonna put the onions on first. Let those soak around a bit. Spread everything out. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. What kind of herbs? Things like thyme and rosemary you want in the beginning, basil goes at the end. No, I feel like I could put, what would I put on here? I think rosemary is the move. But I'm talking like fresh. I've got some fresh herbs in the fridge. All right, I just gotta get this in the oven. Rosemary is so good. Fresh rosemary go in when simmering onions. Here's the thing, if I put like a big sprig of rosemary in there, I would have to take it out. Or do you think I should dice up that rosemary? What about the garlic? Garlic will go in the pot. Which maybe I'll use this element since you could see that better. Let me remind myself. Just gotta test this out. I'll prepare the garlic. Let me find that rosemary too. Here we go. It smells nice. This actually came out of a friend's garden. So yeah, pull off the leaves and sprinkle in. That's probably the move. Okay, let me figure that out. I'm not gonna do too much of it either. Not trying to go crazy here. Rosemary makes me think of a nice focaccia, you know? Speaking of which, I did get some bread since I knew I would be making soup. Because soup is so barely a meal. It's not a meal. It's barely an appetizer without like some croutons or something. But it's a good excuse to have bread. It smells like a pinza. Like a pinza. Let me get rid of that a little bit. Get rid of that nub. All right, nothing crazy here. So we think we'll put this in with our, what, aromatics with the garlic? Even that seems a little soon to me, but I guess it makes sense. We're gonna chop it up though. Try not to chop my fingers up. My knife technique could use some work. This is a little dried out. I'm sure the soup will help with that. If it's blending, might be okay. Yeah, I've tried to take out any big pieces. I think this will be all right. All right, is that heating up? Yeah, okay. Let me turn that down. We don't actually need that hot yet. Knife looks intense for what it's cutting. Well, you know, don't bring a spoon to a knife fight. All right, garlic next. Why not? Surprised I've never used an immersion blender before. I've gone through life for 37 years, never using an immersion blender. I haven't lived. What have I been doing with my life? not like peeling garlic. You're an old spirit? What are you calling me, a ghost? Kind of miss watching scary movies. Didn't get my fill in October. I really want to rewatch Doctor Sleep. Did you ever try putting garlic in a jar and shaking it? I should do that in Christine's cocktail shaker and then see if she notices. All right, I'm gonna try dicing this and not using the garlic press. Try not to add any bits of fingernail. Ooh, it's getting tight. Yeah, that kind of worked. This clove wasn't very moist. Don't love that. Don't love that for us. Here, let me try. You're supposed to bend your fingernails inwards so you don't cut the tip of your finger off, right? Let's try that again. I don't know how people do this quickly. All right, I probably don't want to overdo the garlic. Maybe just, here, I'll do a third clove, that's it. Third big clove. Also, a hot take, I do not like the flavor of roasting the garlic. I very easily could have put this in the oven to get that sort of buzzy roasted garlic flavor in here. I'd rather keep it bright and fresh. All right, where are we at on the oven? Oven still says it's heating, so that's an issue. That's a bit of an issue. These veggies will probably take like 45 minutes. Serious question, what is the plan if you do hurt yourself while streaming? Do you bail and leave us on? I would not worry about you and just worry about myself. That's kind of what I normally do. Bad news. Oh, fuck. It's already 7. Can someone tell me how many minutes ago I put those vegetables in? Don't jinx me. I'm not going to get hurt making soup. What do you think? That warning with the blender was for me? All right, I think I put the veggies in maybe 5 minutes ago? 10 minutes ago? You say 10 minutes? 9 minutes? Okay, let's give it another, I'm gonna set the timer for 35 minutes. I do like to maybe over roast my veggies in the oven. Get them nice and almost caramelized. But you know, we're doing what we can here. All right, I have scheduled The French Connection for 8 o'clock tonight. Might have to delay that. That movie's not very long. Might have to be 8:15. 8:30 at the latest, let's say. Are you just using carrot and parsnip? Just asking. In the soup, it's carrot, parsnip, sweet potato, red onion. And there's not many carrots. Love soup movie nights? That's not really a thing in this household. You know what I thought about too late? Is that I really should have just made a grilled cheese sandwich to go with this. Maybe next week I make a grilled cheese sandwich. Or a pickle sandwich. One or the other. Grilled cheese and tomato soup? Yeah, but only the grilled cheese part of that is good. I would have a grilled cheese sandwich without the tomato soup. I wouldn't have tomato soup without the grilled cheese sandwich. It's not too late unless you don't have cheese and bread. I have some cheddar. I bought bread for this, but it's not good grilled cheese sandwich bread. I'm in love with air fryer grilled cheese. Okay, you could help me out with this. I've been looking into getting an air fryer. I think I would like to get one. I'm trying to just cook again. I feel like the past year I have not been in the kitchen much at all. Is Heinz a thing in Canada? Yes. They sell ketchup. They take their ketchup very seriously. Careful, Christine will date it. That's the thing. I think she might fall in love with the air fryer and marry it. But then I'd be happy for her. Because if you truly love something, you'd let it go. Marry an air fryer. And they'll be like, you told me for 13 years you didn't believe in marriage. She goes, I guess I just didn't meet the right air fryer. And I'm like, this is just like 500 Days of Summer. Am I that guy? Okay, so everyone I talk to who has an air fryer says they're great. But what do I not have in my life that I would benefit from an air? Like, what am I doing in the air fryer that I can't do now in an oven? Riddle me this, Batman. It'll make things crispy. Can I like pretend I'm deep frying things? Can I make sweet potato fries in there? Can I just like throw a chicken breast in there and it'll just be cooked and not dry? Because that would be a pretty good benefit. It takes ages to cook. Swear to STH. There's this dude on Facebook who makes everything in his air fryer. I do not trust anything I see on Facebook. No preheat time. Is it not just a convection oven, basically? Yeah, it's just like an oven, right? Maybe it's just it kind of tricks your brain into thinking it's more convenient than turning on a whole oven. It's just like a small convection oven, hot air dryer toaster something. It's a top heated oven. So why does that make things crispier than I would in an oven or just broiling something? It's just this generation's toaster oven. Okay, maybe I don't need an air fryer. You know what's funny? We have a deep fryer that we bought years ago to make a video with Rob and Corinne making a poutine when they visited Canada. I have not touched that thing since the day we made that video. So I always feel like if CRA would be like, oh, you bought a deep fryer, but you only made one video. I'm like, I promise you, that thing has not been used for any other purpose than making that one video. But now I'm thinking, maybe I just forget the air fryer. Let's just make a whole series of videos where I deep fry things. I kind of want a deep fried pickle sandwich now. Have you ever had that? Is that a thing? Do it? All right. See you next Friday. Will it deep fry? You can deep fry a pickle? Have you never gone to a bar and ordered deep fried pickles? Is that not a thing? Is that a Canadian thing? That's definitely a thing, right? Pickle fries? What do they call them? What is it usually called on a menu? Not pickle fries. Is it not just fried pickles? I feel like I'm losing my mind here. What kind of soup are we making? We're making a root vegetable soup. Sweet potato, parsnip, rainbow carrots, red onion. That's it. I had deep fried pickles for the first time recently in a homemade KFC batter, and it was insanely good. How did you get the Colonel's secret recipe? Azonder says, just stopping in to say hi. Best soup is lentil stew with a ton of curry powder. I hate lentils. I hate lentil stew. My least favorite meal growing up was when my mom made lentil soup. Hated it. I dreaded the day. Maringe says, an ex-employee of KFC released the spices. Is that true? Was it even that secret? You know, I've been thinking a lot this week about surprises and when consumers want surprises or not. I think the whole KFC thing, it's not that, I don't think there was anything all that secret about the spices on that chicken, but thinking it's a secret makes you like it a little bit more. And that's one of those things where it's like, it's better to let people think something is a secret and let them sort of delude themselves into thinking something is better than it is. Why ruin that surprise, you know? Oh, I'm tired. The KFC things like salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, sage, paprika, mustard, rosemary, and some other stuff. See, none of that is a surprise. It's no oh, the secret to KFC is there's people in it. Or the secret is you don't wash your hands before you make the chicken. The secret's there's a tiny bit of cocoa powder in the chicken. Celery salt? Is celery salt the secret? I will say, growing up, there was a person who lived across the street from us who would, we went over there one time for, I guess, a Thanksgiving dinner or something. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, we had the stuffing this person had made, and it was the best stuffing of all time. And we're like, oh my God, why is this so good? And it's like, oh, it's this kind of salt I put on it. And it was some sort of celery salt. But I remember it was kind of a big deal. She wouldn't tell us. I don't know if she made it herself or if it was just the proportion of, I don't even know how you make celery salt. Is it just powdered celery and salt? Anyway, I remember it was kind of a thing where she wouldn't tell people the actual recipe, but she would give people jars of this celery salt to use. It had drugs in it? Yeah. In the butt or out of the butt stuffing? I think it was out of the butt stuffing. And generally speaking, I think most cooks I know prefer the out of the butt stuffing. It's easier to control what you're doing when it's not being cooked inside of a bird. I've never done it yeah, I think in the bird stuffing is a thing of the past. All right, is it too soon to start doing my vegetable stock? Just get it cooking? There's no harm in that, right? And then it would just be ready to go. A little steamy. Why don't I just do that? All right. Gonna get that going. Get you hot. I'm just gonna put the garlic in so I can hear when it's actually warm. This is definitely too much garlic. I don't think I'm gonna add it all. Too much and too big. My pan just sort of warped in a weird way. No such thing as too much garlic. All right, I'm cut off. That's enough garlic. Let me check on the veggies. I don't know why the light's off. Oh. Yeah, things are happening in there. Oh, it's been 20 minutes. Spin the veggies. You know, I don't think they need a spin. I think I'm gonna get them. I don't mind if it gets a little crispy on top. I can definitely see some crisp forming on the edges of the onions, especially. And yeah, if I open the oven, it'll lose heat. Oh, this is starting to smell like garlic though. Yeah, it is. What do I need, a spoon? What do I use, a big old wooden spoon? Is that what people used to use back in the olden days? That does smell good. What do you think? Do I add my rosemary now? That does smell nice. Add it so it actually gets in there. Why not? Why not? Whatever makes you happy. I think I need a touch more olive oil. There we go. And then this vegetable broth says low sodium, so I might have to make up for that. Let's get this ready to go. I don't know if this pot is going to be big enough. I may have made a giant mistake. Season your garlic? Oh, the garlic tastes itself. The garlic tastes like garlic. Thing about soup is you can always just sort of add, I'm not worried about making this not salty enough. It's pretty easy to adjust for that. Yes, chef. You're gonna need a bigger boat. Dun bana 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 bana. Low sodium doesn't mean no sodium. Those things are chalked with it. Chalked? Absolutely chalked. It has 130 milligrams of sodium per 1 cup. 6% of your daily intake. How many cups are in this? 250? It's about 4 cups. If I drank this whole thing, that would be like a quarter of the salt I should have in a day. Cook it and leave it on while you watch the movie. What if you make it too salty? You don't make it too salty. It's a quart, so 4 cups. So yeah, if I put, based on the amount of vegetables I have, I don't know if this will be enough liquid. I might have to I might have to not use all my veggies. I might save some of the vegetables for eating and only use some of them in the soup. If it's too salty, you could add more stock or potatoes. They absorb the salt. All right, garlic is starting to turn, so we're going for it. Could you add some cream? I do plan on adding a little bit of cream towards the end. All right, so I guess I want to get this to a simmer. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to add all of my vegetables. I'll probably only add half my veggies. Cream that you made or bought? How do I make cream? What do you think, I'm a cow? What do you think, I've got some udders under here you don't know about? What is heavy cream? Heavy is just heavy cream is whipping cream. It has higher. What fat content is normal cream in America? So here's like whipping cream. This is the highest percent, it's 35%. That's the highest milk fat content. You can also get table cream, that's 18. That's table cream. Half and half is 10%. Anyway, I only got this little baby one. I'm not gonna add too much, so I thought it would make sense if it was the higher fat content. All right, how are these veggies looking? They're looking pretty roasted. Sweet potatoes are nice and bubbly. Onion might be a little starting to burn a little bit. Parsnips probably look the least cooked. Not worried about the carrots. I don't think this needs much longer. Maybe just 10 minutes like tops. I'm gonna lower the timer to 10 minutes. I wanna get this soup going. I'm trying to get it to simmer. You seen anything simmering here? Should be, feels warm. Yeah, parsnips will take the longest. I think that makes sense. Let me get rid of this. Or wait. You want to see the bread I got? Dynamite cheddar jalapeno bread. Let's go. Bread. Somebody tell Oprah. I mean, this is the highlight, is it not? I will say it feels a day old. It's too bad. Let me try. Just gotta rip off a hunk of bread. Tastes like it would have been really good a day ago. So is it dynamite? I don't know why they call it that. Is it cheddar? Yeah, there's definitely cheese and there's like jalapenos literally baked into the bread. You can kind of see them. Yeah, you see the jalapeno in there? Yeah, I think I'd be better off toasting this. Maybe I'll just throw it in the oven. It'll be dynamite tomorrow morning. Gage says soften it up in the microwave. You're saying if I just put this in the microwave, it'll be soft? Where did you get that from? Not sponsored. I got it from the grocery store, but they got it from a bakery in town called Art Is In. And I think it would be way better if you got it directly from the bakery. All right, I think I could take the veggies out anytime. I'm really just waiting for this to start simmering. It is steaming. I can see it starting to evaporate. Heating bread causes the starches to resoften from retrogradation. Oof. Does that only happen when Mercury's in retrograde? All right, I think we gotta just do stuff. All right, oven's off. Timer is canceled. No, it isn't. Timer is canceled. Timer is off? Yeah. Woo! What do we think? Ooh. That looks pretty nice. I just want to check the parsnip, because that would be the only thing I'm concerned about not blending. So I just want to make sure that's very soft, like I can squish it with a fork. I totally can. It's a bit to get through the skin, but yeah, that's nice and soft. Okay, I'm not going to add all of this to our soup, but I'm gonna add a good amount of it. And I am going to do that. I think I'm gonna have to be a little strategic about what I add, make sure it's proportional. Give me a slotted spoon? Sure. This is so exciting, isn't it? Isn't it though? Who said soup wasn't fun? Okay, I definitely want to get some of these nice charred onions in there. Gonna do some of the purple carrots for color. But I really think it's my sweet potatoes and parsnips that'll be the star of the show. I'm gonna add a lot of those. Especially sweet potato, right? Everybody loves sweet potato. You know what? I might be able to add all these veggies. Maybe this was silly of me. Because as I'm adding them in, it seems like they're just sort of disappearing. Should I do it in batches anyway? Yeah, it's getting a little full. That's pretty much everything. There's not much left behind here. All right, I'm gonna get that in. Maybe I'll let them, it wouldn't hurt to let them soften even a little bit more. You're fine. I don't want everything overflowing when I use this thing for the first time. So how does this actually work? You have to hold it, eh? Can you hear this? Is it loud? No, eh? You do need to let it cool a bit before blending? Cool a bit? I thought you blend while it's still hot, no? It's barely simmering over here. It's not loud enough? I don't cool it. People are arguing about whether to blend whether it's hot or chilled. I think I blend it now. It'll suck everything down for you, so keep it by the bottom of the pot. But I also don't want to scratch the pot, right? Woo! There it goes. Oh yeah! Sprayed myself a little bit. It's a little thick. I think it's struggling with the carrots. All right, I think it's too thick. I think it's just a little too thick. All right, I think I'm gonna need to add another, yeah. That's just a little thick. Should I add water or just more vegetable? I have another carton of vegetable stock. I could add the cream too, right? All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of water. And the cream. Though, if I blend the cream, will it whip it? I'm not trying to whip this cream, you know? Maybe just a gentle. Woo! Forgot to turn it off before I took it out. All right, I'm gonna put this down before I hurt myself. I suppose I need to try a bit of this. You don't need to stir, it stirs for you. It was still a little thick until I really got that last bit of cream in there. This is more soup than I thought I'd be making. That's okay. I salted the veggies pretty liberally, but I suspect the soup should probably be saltier. All right, I can't put that in my mouth. Good cream of root soup? Yeah, something like that. God, that's still hot. That smells really nice. That's quite nice. I will say the parsnip comes through a lot. It definitely needs to be saltier. We're gonna add salt. And who doesn't like pepper? And I think it would even benefit from a little more blending. It was a little chunkier than I would like. So I'm gonna give one more pass. The heat is off at this point. I don't want it to cook down or thicken anymore. I feel like the flavors have combined just fine. But yeah, I would like to give it one more hit. It's so thick, I kind of have to stir it around. Like it's not quite enough to get it moving at the bottom. Whew. All right, I think I'm done. I think I made soup. Somebody cross that off my bucket list. Now what do I do with it? It's a warm, savory smoothie. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got this nice big glass container. I think we'll use that. I am going to take this piece of bread and dip it in it. I think it still needs salt, but I think I could let that be up to the server for the serving, right? There's no harm in letting people just add salt to their individual bowl of soup, right? Have you turned me into a soup lover? Here's the thing. This tastes nice. It tastes like roasted root vegetables. I wouldn't sit down to dinner and be like, parsnips. It's not a meal. It goes with a meal. There needs to be like a chicken right here, or a grilled cheese sandwich. Put it over rice with turkey? What? You're out of control. All right, I made way more soup than I thought I would. I'm going to have to share. I'm going to have to drive around Ottawa just being like, hey, would you like some soup? And they'd be like, fuck off. I'd be like, okay. I was on a social media app the other day, and my algorithm, it was like this guy who goes around and goes, I'll give you $100 if you make some food for me. And he's not like, he's a younger guy, but he's going up to women and being like, invite me over to make me food. And people are doing it. And I'm just thinking like, are there a bunch of women walking around who are just like inviting strange men into their home for $100? Or is this clearly like orchestrated, faked in advance content? You know what I mean? Ooh, that's a little hot. It's a little hot to the touch. Who's letting their women out? Exactly, Marin. I'm over here thinking, where is these women's owner? Why are they letting this man talk to them? All right. I don't want to overload this here. That's some soup. I want that to cool down a little bit. All right, I'm gonna pour a bowl for myself too. What am I looking for? Actually, that's almost all of it. Just a little bit left. Maybe I'll just get you in there. How about that? There's my soup. Well, I just made soup for the first time. Congratulations to me. And it's not even 8 o'clock. Feast your eyes on this soup. Cream of root vegetable soup. All right, now what? Now clean up? You clean up. Let's try this again. All right, it's salty enough now, for me. That's nice. You can taste the rosemary for sure. It's not too garlicky at all. I could have probably added more garlic. I want to say is it the starchiness? I feel like I'm getting quite a bit of the texture of, I think, the parsnip still coming through, even though it's pretty creamy. That's interesting. It would be interesting if this had a bit more of a bit of a hot kick. I wonder what I could have put in here to just give it a little spice. Because it's quite sweet with the red onion and sweet potato. Give quite a bit of sweetness. Yeah, maybe crushed red pepper to cut that a little bit. God, even more just black pepper, I think, would go a long way as well. Yeah, I'm gonna add more pepper right now. You know, I'm just gonna do it. Do it while it's still hot. Now, what's the move, you people? My plan is to just have this with Christine over the next 2 or 3 days. I could leave it in the fridge, right? Soup's good in the fridge for what? At least a few days. At least 3, 4 days, would you think? God, this almost looks like a pumpkin mix. Freeze some? I don't think I need to freeze some. There's only like, after my big bowl here, there's maybe 4 or 5 bowls of soup here. Depends if it's like a big serving or a small serving. I could freeze it. I don't think I'll need to freeze it. I think Sunday will be soup day. Now, do I need to let it cool down at all before putting it in the fridge, or should I just put it right in the fridge? What's the move, bakers? That's 1 serving for me. This is 1 big bowl. Let it cool a bit. Nope, in the fridge now. Let it cool. Let it cool. Food safety rules, yes, let it cool for a bit. I guess you're just trying to not make the rest of your fridge warm, right? Yeah, it could bring the rest of your fridge temp up. I almost feel like I should put it on an ice bath. I'm just trying to speed up the cooling process. I mean, I guess I did transfer it to another. This glass feels pretty warm though. Maybe I'll make an ice bath. I will put the lid on. Woo. Let's go. Let's go. No lid. I just don't want to spill it out into the ice bath. I know it's gonna change in pressure. But I won't do it very long. I just don't want to get ice water into the soup or soup into the ice water. I think it could handle a little bit of suction. Dangerous? No. Maybe I'll just not cap it. Actually, did that already make a huge difference? I think it did. Pull it out, put it out. You guys, relax. Just a little suction. Just a wee bit of suction. I can't put it in. I think it's gonna sink too much. Yeah, I don't trust it. I put a little too much water. Stir it? I can't, I'm holding it. Vacuum soup. Should we delay Filmtendo start time a little so you can eat? Yeah, if we did even 8:15 would probably work, Uma. I can edit the post in a minute if someone else doesn't before that. All right, I think this is fine. One sec, I'm gonna actually take a little water out of there. this will work. Speed eating soup. I can eat soup while I watch a movie. Fuck, it's still rising too high. Yeah, the soup is too high in the container that it's dangerously close to the top. I can't risk it. Soup is the new popcorn? Yeah, sure. Something like that. All right, let me just stir it a bit. I think that took the edge off enough that I could just put it in the fridge. Yeah, for sure. Let me just... Oh my God, no, wait, please tell me the glass is okay to cool quickly though. I thought it was a plastic container. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. If this glass bowl shatters in my fridge though, I won't tell you. All right, everybody, go read a book.